Hi friends, good evening. Today we are focusing on JAM previous questions that are asked for JAM examination in modern physics. So we will discuss the entire modern physics in 5 or 6 parts, and today we are focusing on part 1. Okay. So the first question is light described by the equation E is equal to 90 volt per meter sine 6.28 into 10 raised to 15 second inverse t plus sine 12.56 into 10 raised to 15 second inverse t is incident on a metal surface. The work function of the metal surface is given, that is 2 electron volt. Maximum kinetic energy of the photoelectrons will be. So here the question is we need to find the maximum kinetic energy. So maximum kinetic energy that will produce the maximum frequency, right? So out of this is in the sin omega t format, and here also sin omega t format. So out of this expression, which one is the maximum frequency term? The omega maximum is this term. This omega maximum term that will produce the maximum kinetic energy, right? The wave is a combination of two sine function. Out of this, which is the maximum frequency, that is 12 point omega is equal to 12.56 into 10 raised to 15. So to find out maximum kinetic energy, we have to choose this omega, and now we can apply the relation, the h cross omega, the energy fold. This light falls on the metal surface, its energy is h cross omega, right? That is equal to work function plus maximum kinetic energy, k maximum, right? Now what is k maximum? K maximum is equal to h cross omega minus w. W is given, right? So work function is given, this value is 2 electron volt, and h cross value that we have already know, that is h by 2 pi. H is Planck's constant. Omega that we have chosen as 12.56 into 10 raised to 15. So when you substitute the values, you will get option C as the correct answer, right? Now let us come to another question. Electric field component of an electromagnetic radiation varies with time as E is equal to A cos omega 0 t sin omega t cos omega 0 t, where A is a constant. The value of omega and omega 0 are 1 into 10 raised to 15 second inverse and 5 into 10 raised to 15 second inverse. The radiation falls on the metal of work function 2 electron volt, right? The maximum kinetic energy, the same question that we have seen, that is asked on 2011. The same question is with a different frequencies that is asked in 2013. See here also, to find out the you have to use the same equation, right? We are required to find the maximum kinetic energy. K maximum is equal to that is h cross omega minus w. Here also the maximum frequency produces maximum kinetic energy. So omega you can take as 5 into 10 raised to 50. All right. So that is given, and h cross value, that is h by 2 pi. We have the value of Planck's constant, and this work function that also given here. So when you substitute all the values, you will get 1.30 volt. All right. Option B is correct. Now let us come to another problem. In a photoelectric experiment, ultraviolet light of wavelength 320 nanometer falls on the photo cathode of work function of 2.1 electron volt. Stopping potential should be close to. So here instead of kinetic energy, we have stopping potential we have to find. Work function is given, wavelength is given, right? So here we can substitute the value. We already know this in terms of stopping potential. We have studied this equation as h nu minus h nu plus w is equal to, right, sorry, h nu is equal to w plus ev, right? This V is the stopping potential. Now work function is given and this wavelength is given. Okay, so you can write this as we need to find EV, that is W minus, all right, EV is equal to h nu minus W, all right. So now V is equal to hc by lambda E. So I am writing this nu as C by lambda and this E that I have taken to the right side and W by E. Now this hc value that we already know, okay, Planck's constant into C, and lambda that is given 320 nanometer, electronic charge that we know, and work function that also given, and all parameters is given. Now the stopping potential V, when you solve, you will get 1.8 volt. Right. Now let us come to another question. The question is, in photoelectric experiment, both sodium work function that is given and tungsten the work function is given, metals were illuminated with ultraviolet of same wavelength. If the stopping potential for tungsten is measured to be 1.8 volt, so we have measured the stopping potential of tungsten, right, that is given 1.8 volt. The value of stopping potential for sodium will be, okay, so we are using the same ultraviolet wave in same case, right? So we may write the energy as that is h nu is equal to work function plus this kinetic energy in terms of stopping potential, that is EV. Now we, from the first given data, we can find out this h nu. H nu is equal to, in case of sodium tungsten, in case of tungsten the work function is given, so work function is 1.8 plus, and this stopping potential, I'm sorry, work function is for the tungsten is 4.5 electron volt, 4.5 electron volt plus stopping potential is 1.8, so this is 1.8 electron volt, so you will get this as 6.3 electron volt, right? All right, so we have now the value of h nu. Now um, using this information, now we can solve the stopping potential for sodium. So this here also the same light we are using, so h nu is same, but work function is different, that is given for sodium, right, that is 2.3 electron volt. So work function plus stopping potential for sodium, that let me write as EVS, right? So we need to solve this. H nu we have already solved, work function is given all divided by E, that is equal to Vs, and this h nu that is 6.3 electron volt, work function of sodium that is 2.3 electron volt, and electronic charge that also we have. So when you solve this, you will get answer as 4 volt, right? All right, it is 6.3 minus 2.3, that is 4. So answer we have to measure 4 electron volt. So stopping potential will be, energy is EV is 4 electron volt, so stopping potential is 4 volt. Okay, now another question is, in a photoelectric effect experiment, the monochromatic source of light emitting photon with energy greater than the work function, the metal under test is used. If the power of the light source is doubled, which of the following statement is correct? So here the thing is, if you double the power, their intensity increases. Intensity increases means if power double means the number of photons doubles. But the stopping potential that is only a factor of frequency, right? So the stopping potential remains same, but the emitted photon that will change, that will double. Okay, so that double means it is not decreasing, and the stopping potential doubles, that is not correct. So only option correct is B, right? Stopping potential remains unchanged. Okay, now let us go to another question. Here the question is a photon of wavelength lambda, right? So from the Compton relation we already know lambda dash minus lambda is equal to h by m0c into 1 minus cos theta. Now the scattered electron at rest and it is scattered in the backward direction. So theta is equal to 180, right? So let me write lambda dash minus lambda is equal to that is equal to 2 h by m0c, right? Okay, so this is delta lambda is equal to, this is Compton wavelength, right? H by m0c is Compton wavelength, that is 2 into lambda c. So now if I take the fractional shift, that is delta lambda by lambda is equal to 2 lambda c divided by lambda, right? Fractional shift I am going to take, right? Delta lambda by lambda is equal to 2 lambda c by lambda. So this is the fractional shift in wavelengths. So which one is the option? 2 lambda c by lambda. Option D is correct, right? All right. Now let us come to another question. The question is X-rays of wavelength 0.24 nanometer, right? X-rays of wavelength 0.24 nanometer are Compton scattered and scattered beam is observed at an angle 60 degree relative to the incident beam. The Compton wavelength of the electron that is given. The kinetic energy of the scattered electron in electron voltage. See, if scattered energy is hc by lambda, right? Scattered, that means incident energy is hc by lambda, and scattered energy is hc by lambda dash. Now this difference in energy that is going to convert electric, that is converted into kinetic energy, right? So what is kinetic energy? Kinetic energy is equal to hc by lambda minus hc by lambda dash, all right? Now but from the formula we already know that is lambda minus lambda dash is equal to h by m0c into 1 minus cos theta. Theta is given 60 degree, cos 60 is 1 by 2, right? So from it I can write this as, this is Compton wavelength that is given, right? What is Compton wavelength? This value h by m0c value, Compton wavelength of electron is, that is given 0.00243. So this is Compton wavelength h by m0c. So you can substitute that value, and once I get this lambda dash, right? So we need to find this lambda dash. Lambda dash is equal to, lambda is given, lambda dash is equal to let me write as, this is 1 by 2. So when you solve this in terms of lambda, using lambda we can calculate this. So that means lambda dash is equal to, this is 1 by 2. So lambda minus h by m0c. So we have a 2 here, right? Now h by m0c that is given. Okay, now substitute the value, then finally you will get lambda dash as, that is equal to 0.2412 nanometer, 0.2412 nanometer. Now we have this lambda value and lambda dash value, hc value that we already know, so we can calculate the kinetic energy, right? When you solve that you will get answer as 24.75 electron volt, right? 24.75 electron volt. All right. Now let us come to another question. Question is, X-ray of 20 keV energy is scattered inelastically from the carbon target. The kinetic energy of transferred to the recoiling electron by photons scattered at 90 degree with respect to the incident beam is. Planck constant is given, speed of light is given, mass of electron is given, electronic charge also given, right? See, in this problem the incident energy is 20 keV. So we need to find this recoiling electron energy, right? So we need to find the recoil energy, right? So the kinetic energy transferred to the recoiling electron, that we need to find. Okay, so before coming to that, we already know lambda dash minus lambda is equal to h by m0 c into 1 minus cos theta. Theta is 90 degrees given, so lambda dash minus lambda is equal to h by m0 c. All right, now here I can divide with hc, so lambda dash divided by hc, right, minus lambda divided by hc. So when I am dividing with hc, this is 1 by m0 c square, right? So this is nothing but 1 by e dash minus 1 by e is equal to 1 by m0 c square. The mass of the electron, that is given 9.1 into 10 raised to c square, 3 into 10 raised to 8. So if I do that, I will get a 0.5 MeV, right? And this electron energy, that is given. So what is 1 by, now this energy is given, incident energy 20 keV. So when I substitute, I will get E dash is equal to this E value I can substitute, then E dash I can solve as. So let me write the value, that is 19.23 keV. So once I get E dash, what would be the recoil energy? Recoil energy is, incident energy is 20, right? So 20 minus this scattered energy is E dash, that is 19.23. So 19.23. So that is 0.77 electron volt. Alright, kilo electron volt. We have to express the energy in kilo electron volt. So answer is 0.77 kilo electron volt. Alright. Now let us come to another problem. A photon of frequency nu strikes an electron of mass m initially at rest. After scattering at an angle phi, the photon loses half of its energy. The electron recoils at an angle theta. Which of the following is or are true? So it may be a multiple option correct question. Okay. So we are considering the photon and electron. Suppose my photon in this direction and electron is in this direction with momentum p, and a photon that is in this direction with momentum say h nu by c, right? H nu dash by c. All right. All right. Now this makes an angle phi, right? So let me write this angle as theta and phi. So this is phi and this as theta. Okay. If the electron recoils at an angle theta, so this is my electron with the momentum p. This is my photon, that is h nu dash by c, right? Phi, incident energy that I am taking as h nu. All right. Now the thing is, we need to solve lambda dash minus lambda. Lambda dash minus lambda is equal to h by mc into 1 minus cos phi. All right. Now what is lambda dash? Lambda dash is the, see, look into the question, the photon of frequency nu strikes. So here I can write as this lambda is nu by c. So we already know nu, c is equal to nu lambda. So lambda is equal to c by nu. So this is c by nu, and here I can write as c by nu dash. All right, equal to h by mc into 1 minus cos phi. Now we have given a condition, the photon loses half of its energy. Photon loses half of its energy means this become, here we have 2, that means losses 2, half of its energy means this become 2c by nu, right? 2c by become nu dash by 2. Energy half means frequency become half, right? So this become 2c by nu. C by nu is equal to h by mc into 1 minus cos phi. All right. So that is c by nu is equal to, what I can say, h by mc into 1 minus cos phi. Sorry, 1 minus cos phi. that is mc square by h nu equal to 1 minus cos phi, that is cos phi is equal to 1 minus mc square divided by h nu. So this cos phi value, this part is correct. Now so look into the third option. So this is incorrect, right? Now look into the third option. So from this, by conservation of momentum, so look into this diagram. See, I can say the momentum conserved, the component of momentum here, that is p sin theta, and here it is h nu dash by c sin phi. Equate this, that is p sin theta is equal to h nu dash by c sin phi, right? So p by, so the magnitude of momenta of the recoiled electron momentum is p, divided by photon momentum is h nu dash by c, that is equal to sin phi by sin theta. So that statement also correct. It is given that the ratio of the momentum of the recoiled electron and the scattered photon is sin phi by sin theta. So that also correct, sin phi by sin theta. We got this result, p by h nu by c is equal to sin phi by sin theta. That also correct. So option A and option, look into this, which one are the correct options? So which one is correct? This B and C, right? Sorry, A and C. Cos phi we have seen as 1 minus mc square by h nu, and now C we got as sin phi by sin theta, right? Now let us come to another question. The question is, for a proton to capture an electron to form a neutron and a neutrino, assumed massless. Neutrino is massless. Okay, the electron must have some energy, right? So electron with some kinetic energy has to hit the proton to form a neutron, right? So for such an electron, the de Broglie wavelength in picometer. So this you can do by conservation of energy. See, the proton mass is mp, right? Proton mass is the neutron mass, that is proton plus electron gives neutron, right? So mn minus mp into c square. So the mass difference corresponding to this, that is converted into electrons energy, right? That you can say that is electron energy, right? Now mn minus mp into c square. Now let me write the mass of neutron, that is 1.675 minus 1.673 into 10 raised to minus 27, right? That is common, because 1.675 into 10 raised to minus 27, that is mass of neutron, that is that much kilogram, 1.673 into 10 raised to minus 23 into, so c square, that is 3 into 10 raised to 8 the whole square. So when you solve this, you will get 1.8 into 10 raised to minus 13 joule. Now look into this. We already know by kinetic energy, relativistic kinetic energy, an electron is in motion, it has rest mass energy, and then p square c square plus its relativistic kinetic energy we have seen as m square c raised to 4, where m is the mass of this electron, right? Now we can solve p. We have the value of mass c and this c and this e, that also we have solved. Then when you solve, you will get to p is equal to 0.6 into 10 raised to minus 22, right? Now we need to find lambda. Lambda is equal to h by p, that is 6.64 into 10 raised to minus 34 divided by 0.6 into 10 raised to minus 22, right? When you solve that, you will get 1.1 into 10 raised to minus 12, that is 1.1 picometer. So the answer is, we have to express in picometers, so answer is 1.1. Alright. So we need 2 digits in answer. So 1.1 is the answer. Right. Now let us come to another question. Here the question is, a gamma ray photon emitted from, I think it is from a cesium 137, right? So it collides with an electron at rest. If the Compton shift of the photon 3.25 into 10 raised to minus 13 meter, then scattering angle is closest to, so this parameter is given, Planck's constant, mass of electron and velocity of light in free space all given, right? So this collides with an electron at rest. Compton shift is given, right? Scattering angle is closest to, we need to find scattering angle. So let me substitute the value again. Delta lambda is equal to h by m0 c into 1 minus cos theta. This is the Compton formula, and we need to find this theta. Everything is given. Delta lambda, Compton shift is given, right? This is delta lambda, that is given 3.25 into 10 raised to minus 13, and h by m0 c, that is the Compton wavelength. All right. So you can substitute that value there. H by m0 c value, that is 0.0242 nanometer, right? So into 1 minus cos theta. All right. So this then you can solve this theta. We need to solve this theta only, right? So you can substitute and solve. Then when you solve this theta, you will get the answer as root 3 by 2, that is equal to, so let me write as 30 degree. Okay, 30 degree. So that means cos theta is equal to root 3 by 2 means that is 30 degree. All right. So option C is correct. Now let us come to another question. The Compton scattering experiment, the wavelength of incident X-rays is 0.500 Armstrong. If the Compton wavelength that also given, the value of longest wavelength possible for the scattered X-ray is that is in Armstrong. So we require to find the longest wavelength possible, that is lambda dash minus lambda is equal to h by m0 c into 1 minus cos theta, right? Now this lambda dash is equal to, right, this lambda is given, lambda dash is equal to, and when is this value is maximum, when theta is equal to 180, right? You can take theta as 180 for the maximum possible value. Then cos 180 is minus 1, that means this will be lambda plus 2h by m0c, right? Now we have all the values, right? This lambda c, h by m0c value is given, and lambda, that is 0.5 plus 2 into, and this lambda c, that is 0.024. This Compton wavelength is that is h by m0c, that is lambda c. All right, its value is given, so we can substitute for h by m0c. So when you solve this, you will get 0.548 Armstrong. Okay, so that will be the answer. Now we have another question here. Question is, a particle of rest mass m0 is moving uniformly in a straight line with relativistic velocity beta c, where c is the velocity of light in vacuum, 0 less than beta less than 1. The phase velocity of the de Broglie wave associated with the particle is. All right. See, we have already studied this phase velocity, right? That is omega by k. And if I multiply numerator and denominator with h cross k, and it is e by p, right? And what is e? E is equal to mc square, right? Mc square divided by, so this is p. And what is P? That is mv. Now look into this. What is m? That is m for a, that is gamma m0, right? If m0 is the rest mass, let me write gamma m0 c square divided by and gamma m0 v. All right. So when you cancel this, what I can say, that is c square divided by this and cancel, and v velocity is given, that is beta c. So c square c cancel. So answer is c by beta. So option B is correct, right? All right. Now let us come to another question. Consider a free electron E and a photon pH, both having 10 electron volt of energy. If lambda and P represent the wavelength and momentum respectively, then, so if I am considering a free electron and a photon, now the momentum, what I can say about this momentum and wavelength of electron and photon, which one is larger, which one is equal, that we need to find. So out of the correct option is, so to calculate the photons de Broglie wavelength, I can use the relation lambda photon is equal to hc by E, right? Alright, so E photon, that is E photon is equal to hc by lambda photon. Alright, so that is so we need to find this de Broglie wavelength, so we may find this. Okay, energy is given. Hc is 1240 electron volt nanometer divided by E photon is, that is 10 electron volt. So this electron volt. So you will get 124 nanometer, right? Now what is the wavelength of electron? That is h by root 2 MeV. We have studied this relation, right? 2 MeV. And again, if you substitute this value, root 2 m into 10, you can substitute the mass of the electron, then you will get this value as 0.387 nanometer. So lambda photon is bigger than lambda electron, right? Lambda photon is bigger than lambda of electron. So now if lambda electron is less, means momentum of electron is greater, right? Because lambda is equal to h by p, right? So the momentum is in the reverse order. Lambda photon is bigger, means this momentum photon is less. So correct option is B. All right. Now let us come to another question. The question is, the de Broglie wavelength of a relativistic electron having 1 mega electron volt of energy is dash 10 into 10 raised to minus 12 meter, right? So in this problem you can use the relativistic energy equation. E square is equal to p square c square plus then m square c raised to 4, right? Where m is the mass of electron. Now this electron, this energy is given, relativistic energy that is given 1 mega electron volt. So we have all the value, mass and c value, that also we have. So the only parameter which is unknown, that is p. So you can solve p. Once you get p, then lambda is equal to h by p. So you can calculate it. I am not doing this here. So you may calculate it. So you have to write the answer in picometer or into 10 raised to minus 12 meter. Okay. Now another question is, the relation between angular frequency omega and wave number k for the given type of waves omega square alpha k plus beta k cube, the wave number k0 for which the phase velocity equal to the group velocity is. So we need to find the wave number value when this wave velocity is equal to phase velocity. All right. So let me write this omega square is equal to alpha k plus beta k cube, right? So what is omega by k? Let me write what is omega. Omega is equal to root alpha k plus beta k cube. What is omega by k? That is root alpha k plus beta k cube divided by k. Right, this is my phase velocity. And what is group velocity? That is d omega by dk. We have already studied in theory, right? D omega by dk, that is 1 by 2 root alpha k plus beta k cube into, I have to differentiate this, that is alpha plus with respect to k 3 beta into k square. All right. Now this Vp is equal to Vg condition. Vp is equal to Vg means root alpha k plus beta k cube divided by k, that is equal to this value, that is alpha plus 3 beta k square divided by 2 root alpha k plus beta k cube. Okay, alpha k plus beta k cube. Now this is equal to, so I can take this root to this side, then alpha k plus beta k cube equal to into 2, that is equal to, so let me multiply with this k, again alpha k plus, right, alpha k plus 3 beta k cube, right? Now we can solve here, or we can cancel out this k on either side. So 2 into alpha plus beta k square equal to alpha plus 3 beta k square, right? Now let me write this as we need to solve the k value in which this condition satisfy. Okay, so here 2 alpha, here alpha, right? So 2 alpha minus alpha, so let me write this as alpha, here 2 beta k square and here 3 beta k square, so that is equal to beta k square. All right, so k square is equal to alpha by beta and k is equal to root alpha by beta. So option C is correct, right? All right, let us come to another problem. The black body spectrum of an object O1 is such that the radiant intensity per unit wavelength interval is maximum wavelength of 200 nanometer. Another object O2 has the maximum radiant intensity at 600 nanometer. The ratio of power emitted per unit area by O1 to that of O2 is, that is the question, right? So here to do this problem we can use two laws. From the Stephen's law we already know this intensity, that is proportional to T raised to 4, right? And also this if a black body radiates a wavelength lambda at a temperature T, this lambda T is equal to a constant. These are the two laws regarding with this black body, right? And then if I give this, so here I can say T is proportional to 1 by lambda. So if I substitute intensity is proportional to 1 by lambda raised to 4, right? Now this we need to find I1 by I2, right? I1 by I2, that is equal to lambda 2 raised to 4 divided by lambda 1 raised to 4. And the first wave is at 600, second wave is at 600 nanometer, so 600 by 300 whole raised to 4, that is 2 raised to 4, right? 600 by 300 is 2, right? I'm sorry, it is 200. Okay, so 600 by 200 is that is 3 raised to 4, that is 81, right? So option D is correct. All right, option D is correct. Now let us come to another question. A wave packet in certain medium is constructed by superposing waves of frequency omega around omega 0 is equal to 100, and the corresponding wave number k with k0 is equal to 10 as given in the table below. So omega and k is given, right? We need to find the ratio Vg by Vp. I'm sorry, this is not a question, the continuation of this table. We need to find the Vg by Vp of the group velocity Vg and phase velocity Vp from this table, right? So what is so omega by k, right? So let me write this Vg and Vp first. What is Vg? Vg is equal to d omega by dk. So d omega is, this is omega 2 minus omega 1 divided by this is k2 minus k1. So we can take this interval and this interval. What is 81 minus 9? What is 81 minus 121? That is 40, right? Divided by, and what is 9 by, right? 11 minus 9, that is equal to 2, that is 20, right? Now what is omega by k? Corresponding omega by k, 81 by 9. So if you divide this with this with this, so if I take 100 corresponding to k, that is 81 by 9 is 10, 100 by 10 is that is 10. Phase velocity 121 by 11, that is 10. That is a constant, right? So by 10. So Vg, so Vp is equal to omega by k, that is equal to 100 by 10, that is equal to 10. So we need to find Vg by Vp, right? That is equal to, what is Vg? 100, 20, and what is Vp? That is 10. 20 by 10 is equal to 2. So option is D. All right. All right. Now let us come to another question. For a wave in a medium, the angular velocity omega and k are related by this relation. Omega 0 and c are constant. The product of group velocity and phase velocity. We need to find Vg into Vp. So from this we can solve this omega first, right? What is omega? Let us find out that it is Vg first. Vg is equal to d omega by dk, and Vp is equal to omega by k. So from this I can write omega is equal to root omega 0 square plus e square k square, and omega by k, that is Vp, that is equal to root omega 0 square plus e square k square divided by k, and I can differentiate on either side. So 2 omega into d omega by dk equal to omega 0 square which is on differentiation 0, and c square into, I can write this k square. K square is on differentiation with respect to k, that is 2k. So we need not this calculation here. We can directly come to the answer from this, right? See, this 2 cancel. All right. So what is omega by k? Omega by k into d omega by dk is equal to c square. What is omega by k? That is Vp. What is d omega by dk? That is Vg. That is equal to c square. So option this is correct, right? All right. Option D is correct. Now let us come to another question. The question is, In a hydrogen spectrum, the ratio of longest wavelength in the Lyman series, final state n is equal to 1, to that in the Balmer series, final state n is equal to 2 is. Alright. So, in this question, the Lyman series, we already know 1 by lambda is equal to r into 1 by 1 square minus. So, from 2 to 1 transition is longest wavelength. From infinity to first orbit, that is high energy transition. So, highest frequency transition, right? So, this is the maximum wavelength in Lyman series. From Balmer series, the transition is that is happens to second orbit. So 1 by 2 square minus. So adjacent transition is 1 by 3 square. Now we need to find a lambda L divided by lambda B. So to find out that we can divide equation 1 divided by equation 2. Then you will get equation 2 divided by 1. Then you will get lambda B, lambda L divided by lambda L. Okay, so only mathematical calculation. When you solve this answer, let me write here, that is 0.185. Okay, now let us come to another question. Consider Rydberg hydrogen like atom in a highly excited state with the n around 300. The wavelength of radiation coming out of these atoms for transition to the adjacent state lies in the range. So if you consider n around 300, right? So we already know the equation 1 by lambda is equal to r into. So the transition that is taking from 299 to 300, that is around 300, right? So it's square minus square, right? N is 300, right? That is given. Now if you solve this, we have the value of Rydberg constant, that is 1.097 into 10 raised to 7, right? 10 raised to 7. Now we have these values, and you can solve this lambda, then you will get the value as 1.22 meter. This wavelength is that is in the radio frequency range, right? So option D is correct. Now another question is the last question. Let Tg and Te be the kinetic energies of the electron in the ground and third excited states of hydrogen atom respectively. According to the Bohr model, the ratio Tg by Te is, okay, so Tg and Te are the kinetic energies of the electron in the ground and third excited state, right? So the expression for kinetic energy in an electron, what is that expression, right? So from the Bohr model of atom, we have already studied the ground state energy is minus 13.6 electron volt, right? Okay, so this kinetic energy expression, that means how it is related to total energy, then only we can say this ratio, right? We already know in Bohr model of atom, potential energy is equal to minus E square by 4 pi epsilon 0 r, and total energy is that is equal to minus E square by 8 pi epsilon 0 r, and kinetic energy, that is equal to, what is that energy, that is E square by 8 pi epsilon 0 r, right? Now from this equation, Tg and Te the kinetic energies of the electron in the ground state and third excited state. So this is nothing but this is a negative of total energy, right? So what is total energy in the first excited state, that is in the ground state, that is minus 13.6 electron. Next energy is, that is minus 3.4 electron volt. Next energy is minus 1.5 electron volt and minus 0.85 electron volt. So this is ground, this is first excited, second, this is third excited, okay. Okay, third excited state, that is you can take as 0.85. So minus total energy. So Tg by Te, that is equal to the ground state energy, total energy, that is minus Te. Kinetic energy is minus Te, negative of total energy. In that state divided by that is Te ground divided by minus Te third excited state. Minus of minus 13.6, that is 13.6 electron volt divided by minus of minus 0.85, that is 0.85 electron volt. So when you do this, you will get approximately 16, right? So option D is correct. All right. So this is all about this section, and in the next section we will discuss more about quantum mechanics. Thank you.